what I always tell clients, it's a transaction doesn't have to look like it's going in the wrong direction for you to know you need legal help, yeah?
Or maybe sometimes it's just ego, unfortunately. Yeah, we are in court sometimes because somebody wants to teach another person a lesson.
Sometimes even family members, when you tell your parents, I don't go to court, you can tell their face drops. They're like, I paid these fees for you not to go to court. And they don't, it's almost like they block everything you say after that. If you say, you don't go to court, then it was not every do. Then next time they're like, oh, I could call you, I didn't find you. Why are you in court? You're like, I don't go to court. Then they get upset. Then they ask you the same.
What do you do?
Yes, like which part of law? We have traversed all courts. Okay, of course, tunangojea kwenda Supreme Court election.
For
elections. But it's like...
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Just Live Up podcast by MNO, season 3. And this particular season, we're focusing on MNO at 10. In particular, this particular episode, we are focusing on the various departments we have at MNO Advocates. And today, here with me, joined first of all by three very beautiful ladies who represent each of every department we have, at least the main ones. And together with also my fellow partner Makanda here, I'll let everybody introduce themselves. Let's start with the ladies, of course.
My name is Barbara Justin. I'm an associate in the Conveyancing Real Estate, Banking and Securitization Department.
My name is Sylvia Chitechi. I'm head of Litigation and Dispute Resolution at MNO Advocates.
Thank you. My name is Sarah Mumbua, and I am the associate in the commercial department.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Okale Makanda, partner at MNO Advocates.
And I am Daisy Chege, managing partner. So welcome, guys. As I said, we are focusing on the various departments that we have under MNO Advocates. These beautiful ladies all work in different departments, sometimes individually, sometimes they collaborate. We can start with you, Mumbua, and tell us about your department's expertise. How did this practice area come into the firm, and what services do you offer?
Okay, thank you. I work in the Corporate Commercial Regulatory Affairs Department. The department is at the heart of why MNO was founded.
Yes.
I believe. Yes, it is. I believe most of the practice areas within the firm touch directly on commercial aspects, whether it's commercial transactions or commercial litigation. And I found the department up and running when I joined MNO. The department mainly focuses on serving corporate clients, SMEs, startups, and when we say those three categories of entities, mainly we help them to structure their business operations. We help them build their corporate governance structures. We also help them with legal and regulatory affairs, as well as risk management. So very proud to be a member of the commercial department. Other than that, we also assist with immigration services, as well as privacy and data protection, and lastly, intellectual property rights.
How long have you been in that unit, Mumbua? We could normally call you Mumbua.
Yes.
Yeah. So how long have you been in that department?
3 years.
Or with MNO?
3 years.
3 years, yes. And how is it?
I love it.
You love it.
Part of what I love most about the department is that we've been able to build structures and a lot of confidence for our clients, particularly just understanding their needs in the business, because most corporates are really applying emerging technologies now, and that has meant us being able to customize our practice to be able to suit the different niche areas that we're able to serve and the different sectors, which are many, fintech, financial services, there's energy, There's health, education, among many others, telecommunications.
And not for profits.
Yes, and not for profits.
Yes.
Yes.
For profits, yes, not for profits, yeah. Because sometimes when people think about corporate, most of the time people view them as more of the business. But also, the regulatory environment for not-for-profits are a lot more strict actually than companies.
Yes.
And so part of the work we do is just ensuring compliance. People now know about the Public Benefits Organizations Act that has been now implemented. And so a lot of the charitable work, semi-charitable work, and family like trusts, while they might not be commercial, or they could fall still under that department. Yes.
I think maybe just before I hand over back to you, Daisy, one of the things that has really been at the heart of commercial is having the understanding that before any matter turns litigious, there's a commercial lawyer somewhere who helped to craft a contract, meaning that you have to be very articulate in terms of the kind of protections that you need to put in place for your client. And what that has meant is whatever it is that we do as a commercial department, we have to prepare the documents thinking of litigation in mind. That should this matter ever land in court, how are they going to be able to defend the client?
And a lot of the disputes we have, Kenya is well known for its many disputes. A lot of the disputes we have are actually is because we bypass that corporate commercial bit. So somebody is coming and saying, I had a contract with somebody to supply, and they're like, okay, you had a contract, where is it? It doesn't exist,
Mostly they're usually oral.
Or handshake. No, let's now use ladies. No longer gentlemen.
Ladies agreement.
This person, I knew them for the last 17 years. Yes. So so a lot of the disputes in the commercial sector derive from either lack of contracts, lack of corporate structures, or poor. Lack of poor.
Yes. But I also think when we talk about this particular topic, I think that's one aspect about commercial, but at the core of it is the governance structures for these entities. Because like we always say, things don't go wrong, things start wrong. Meaning, if a company has been in operations for a number of years, but at the beginning they were not able to structure the business in the right manner, bring on board the right kind of people, then that becomes a problem. And so what we've had to do over the years is not just become a commercial department, but become a strategic partner for our clients to help them understand an end-to-end journey. And what that means is, first, being very intentional about knowing their kind of sector, what is it that they do, what are they looking to achieve, what are their day-to-day challenges, and then finding ways to close those gaps.
Yeah, Babs, you are talking about yours. It has a very long name. I feel like the names keep on becoming long and long.
I know.
Even Mumbo said hers. I remember. I see she's added like 4 other things.
Really?
Yeah, you also said is what. Maybe you can tell us what you do. And
So real estate, conveyancing, banking, and securitization. So basically, what our department does is think of property. That's us. Is it a purchase? Is it a sale? Is it a development that's coming up? Is it someone that's seeking financing using their property? Are we speaking about project structuring? Are we speaking project financing? That is us. Think land, think conveyancing department.
And think loans.
Well, yes, and think loans, yes.
Yeah,
Security for loans.
Yeah, so this one of the things that I have noticed happening in the market, and I do tell people this, every time somebody comes and says, people are buying these properties and they were conned or whatever happened, I tell them, I suspect you, the buyer, didn't have a lawyer.
Yes.
Yes. So maybe you can talk a bit about that and just the importance of, you see now I'm seeing buildings collapsing on each other.
Oh, yes.
I see people saying we were conned, all this, investment.
We bought an existing property.
Oh,
Yes.
So I think one of the main challenges that buyers could be faced with is the fact that they tend to trust the person they're transacting with. So basically, someone comes to you and says, well, I brought property from someone I know, this is my colleague, or we've known each other, so they don't see the need of having a lawyer. Then when things go wrong, that's when they are turning back and they're like, I could have used a lawyer at this point. So what I always tell clients, it's a transaction doesn't have to look like it's going in the wrong direction for you to know you need legal help, yeah? Conveyancing transactions, it doesn't have to be that there's a complication with a purchase. It doesn't have to be a complex purchase for you to think, I need a lawyer. Always, in as much as you've known, like I've known some of you for years now, even if it's your colleague, the best of friends, please just have a lawyer there. Don't trust people because there's due diligence to be done, yeah? There are background checks to be done and you're unable to do this. Even the person selling to you may not know what exactly, if you're speaking about things like the history of this land, who owned it before, who had the first title, is the title authentic? That's something that someone selling to you may not be able to disclose. You
Or
need
may not have known.
even
you know,
know.
may not have known. Because you know, I do tell, and I know most of the time people do look at the fees. Oftentimes it's not significant in the bigger scheme of things.
Yes.
And I tell people this: when you buy a car for 3 million shillings, every year you are spending about 200,000 on comprehensive insurance. For the next 7 or so years, you'll have it. In the real scheme of things, the insurance will have cost you a similar amount to the purchase, or almost 70%.
Even more.
Yes. Because if you are paying 200,000 for 6 years, 1.2 million, right? And you sell off the car. At that time, you're selling off the car, selling maybe for 1 million shillings. But I tell people, and you find people take the risk and say, I'm buying an apartment of 12 million, but the 200,000 I'm paying the lawyer, that's too much.
Imagine.
Too much money. But that person has a 2 million shillings packed in the basement, where they are paying the insurance company 200,000 every single year. So I think people need to view it, because as law firms, you know, we have PI insurance. If we handle the matter negligently, our insurance will normally settle that if we've not done a proper due diligence. And in any case, it's a one-off payment. So when I'm talking to clients, I tell them, view it in terms of your car. If you're comfortable to pay the insurance company for 6 years, this 300,000 every year, surely you can pay 250,000
to protect your property, and it's protecting your property.
It's protecting your properties, yeah.
And even just aside from the money, just the emotional turmoil of just going through that. You've been disappointed, someone conned you, or maybe a particular property or asset you were buying had issues, historical issues. That time spent trying to solve these disputes, honestly, even the money aside, this is just something else. So we always insist that it's very important, no matter how small the transaction looks. And even sometimes, like Barbara said, that you tend to trust somebody. Sometimes it's not even about trust. This person probably doesn't know what needs to happen. Someone, they come, they say, I'm buying property that belonged to my friend's dad, and there's a succession issue. But you see, you'll tend to give this friend, because they're selling their father's property, you'll give them some deposit, but you don't know even when the succession has been done and has been done in the proper way for it to be able to be disposed of. So it's not even always sometimes about trust. It's just these issues are there and they need to be addressed. So in terms of all that, now there's a very crucial department, which is the litigation department, that ties into commercial. Once the contract has gone sour, all that ties in from the commercial side, and then maybe ends up there. Maybe Sylvia, you could tell us something.
So my department people come when now the fancy languages failed. Now they just want to fight. Sometimes it's about either a contract that was not adhered to, it's about a transaction that the terms on, or maybe a dispute on a clause, or maybe sometimes it's just ego, unfortunately. We are in court sometimes because somebody wants to teach another person a lesson. So, and we take up those fights. But essentially what my department does, as litigation, and ideally it's just dispute resolution, but we classify it litigation because people understand the concept of going to court, which is the litigating bit. But other than that, there is also a lot of damage control that we do. Yes, there is a dispute. We don't necessarily have to go to court. You can go take the route of mediation as well. Also, there are some parties in commercial transactions where people prefer an arbitration clause. I think it saves time as well. So that also forms part of what we handle in our department. All disputes, we take different routes, whether it's going to court, whether it's mediating, whether it's negotiations actually, and arbitrating, depending on the outcome. So I feel my department now correlates in terms of managing crises and also in terms of giving clients assurances that even if a deal went wrong, all is not lost. There is a route to try and recover from all that.
And maybe I think what we can augment about the dispute resolution is people to understand that court is not like the first recourse for these issues.
Yes.
People ignore a very important phase, which is can we negotiate?
Yes.
So we also provide that environment where relationships are so frayed. It's actually sometimes when a client comes to us, the client says, I want to be paid 2 million. And then the other side is like, yeah, but we wanted to pay that, but there was no opportunity for you to
discuss.
So then you realize, the parties literally had a point they could agree. So the matter can start in negotiation, mediation, and then go to court. Sometimes the matters go to court and then end to negotiation, because then you go to court once temperatures have cooled down a bit. People then are like, by the way, how can I mitigate my losses? And then so dispute, that's why it's called dispute resolution, because it handles a little more than just court. And then you've talked about even advisory on crisis management. A lot of these things happen before they become real disputes. So we also do, that department will also handle like, I'm considering this dispute, or this dispute is likely maybe coming. Like for corporates, I can tell this is coming. What do you do? Number two, now there's a war in Iran. I normally have a contract for supply of oil, but now there's force majeure. The company I sell the oil to had paid me money. Now there's no consignment that's coming in. And they are really aggrieved, because they run generators and they're not operating and they have other contracts with other people. How I had made promises, so how do I avoid or mitigate this the risk? So that department will generally handle that.
That's true. And also another important aspect of litigation, what Makara has mentioned about going to court and then settling. Sometimes also it's an issue of you're very keen on going to court, the opposite side comes with evidence that will finish you completely, or you have evidence that will cripple the other side's case. So in that instance also, that's where part of negotiation, you actually tell the client it is not safe to proceed with the case. It's either you cut your losses here or give and take. So in comparative also, it's a lot of advisory, and something that people don't know also as our department is that it requires also expertise to the extent that you are handling every crisis. You see, commercial, Barbara has said, a property, when it comes to property, Sarah is talking about transactions. But our department is, people go to court for everything, literally. So there's also the requirement to be very knowledgeable for the department to function. Because today you're in an environmental court, tomorrow you're in a commercial court, the next day you're in a constitutional court.
Children.
Employment.
Divorce,
and all this knowledge has to come from one department, but also which creates a symbiotic also correlation with other departments.
Let's maybe discuss further about that collaboration bit between departments. Whereby you have to pop into Sylvia's office and consult on something. Maybe when you're drafting a contract, you want to consult on some dispute resolution clauses, because this thing keep evolving with time. And also maybe Barbara or Mumbwa will jump into Barbara's office and consult on one thing or the other. Maybe Barbara, you can share about the consultation bit within this department.
Yes.
In the department.
I like what she had said in terms of in her department, she's dealing with different courts. One day she's in the environment court, the other day she's into a children's matter, the other day she's into employment, the other day it's companies fighting. So you see, what she talks about is exactly how we collaborate. For instance, a matter could start over succession. Yeah? People are done with succession, there is property there. So now, once succession is complete, the property needs to be moved. It needs to be transmitted to whoever is entitled to reach the beneficiaries or the executors or the administrators of that estate. Yeah? So then we have moved to conveyancing. Take an instance where the client then choose, okay, for the succession property, it will be moved to a trust.
Exactly.
So then the trust has to be incorporated, a trust deed has to be in place. We are now speaking commercial.
Commercial.
So that means I will have to go and ask commercial department, how is it? How is the trust moving? How am I able now to move? And then figure out on our side, how is property moving from individuals to a trust, or find out how shares are being moved from the deceased, then to the trust, then get the history from the litigation, how are the clients, because it started there. Which kind of people am I dealing with?
Yeah.
How should I handle them? What timelines am I expected to beat? Because you see, even with this succession and us talking about transmission, court is expecting that at a certain time, this is complete.
Yeah.
So I need to finish with the transmission. She needs to relate to the court that the transmission is
done.
complete. Commercial needs to wait now for the trust because they need things moving. They need the trust now needs to start operations. Yeah.
And then, of course, there's, of course, that trust now, there's a registration administration again. Because once it's set up, it becomes almost like a corporate entity. And then now when there are issues again inside the trust, the commercial department will be saying, okay, you need to put by regulations, you need to appoint new trustees. Some have passed on. We need to replace them, update beneficiaries, because families grow in the family and all that.
Yes.
I just wanted to add on the collaboration bit. I think I also see it a lot when we are doing BD as associates, where Chitechi could come across a client who wants the business solutions from a commercial aspect, and we sit together in the meetings, and then the client feels they're accommodated, they're comfortable, they know how the process is going to look like. And the same thing with conveyancing. So there's no one point where you can say that there's a department that will work in isolation. It's more of a collaborative effort, because a client could know Barbara, but when she comes to me, or when he or she comes to me, they may still keep calling Barbara for updates at some point, because they have almost a personalized relationship. So before now the client feels, okay, fine, I'm happy that now I've been handed to another associate. There still has to be that synergy between the different departments and associates. Yes.
That's correct. And I think for us also in our litigation department and area, especially when it comes to issues like court cases, it's sometimes you understand where the dispute came from, you know how to approach the dispute, but also to prepare your defense, to prepare your case. Sometimes you'll have to go to the commercial department and ask, what is the meaning of this clause? What is the expectation when this clause is in a contract? The same way you'd go to Barbara and ask, they are arguing about the process of transfer. What is the considered process in this nature of transaction? So that correlation between departments enables us to serve our clients in litigation with the utmost knowledge. It's not a matter of guessing anymore. It's a matter of knowing this is the process, and maybe it wasn't followed. This is the dispute, this is our winning angle. So I think this symbiotic working of the department is very functional.
And that knowledge helps also manage client expectations. Because every client that comes to a dispute presupposes the argument is very strong. But most of it is sentimental. So if you then get an expert in that issue to come and tell the client, this is what you are saying, but this is how it's supposed to go. So maybe what you think to be a very strong legal point is actually moot, and so it helps manage, and when you manage client expectations, it also manages costs.
Oh, yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So a client can come and say, I want to sue, and clients can, I want to sue them for this. And then you are like, legally, if you know how this process operates, maybe you don't have, like this one you're handling, defects liability period for a house.
Yeah.
So the 6 months are done. Maybe you are now on 2 years. And then you're saying, I want to sue for defects or whatever, liability and all that. And then, so if once you understand that the defect liability maybe, you can only sue for things maybe you are not able to tell when you're snagging, like structural or something, perhaps.
Yeah.
So it helps the client manage. It's like, okay, my handle on my door is not working. I was played. You understand? So instead of wasting, rather than going to court, they could just buy a new handle and
replace it.
yes. So saves the money.
Saves time and
We don't
money.
make as much money, of course, by advising that way.
That's true. That's true, actually, Makanda. Because also you find in some instances where a client is coming to you with expectations of an outcome which you feel, as much as it's ambitious, it's not practical. So the same way Makanda has mentioned, managing clients, you tell the client, I know this is what you want, but if you land at this angle, this is like the best case scenario. So that happens in different areas, but also with consultation with the departments who have handled the nature of the transactions. So that's a very good way to.
And I think even just helping to manage the relationships with the regulators, because sometimes you could have a transaction where it's on Chitechi's docket and there's need for correspondence with different regulators. Maybe you need certain documentations from the regulators. There's already an ongoing sort of like understanding. They know, they've interacted with, so when they hear your name pop up in their offices, they almost know that this person has come for a certain service, which reduces, like you're saying, the time within which should need to retrieve certain documents that my department could easily support to facilitate, for a matter to move.
It also speaks a lot how lawyers operate. I know traditionally it has always been court. A lawyer goes to court. But as you've seen or as you've heard, it speaks also about our strengths. Each of us here chose our path. We chose which department we want to be in and which area of law we want to specialize in. It's all about specialization. And so if Mombo is strong in commercial, and I have a client, I'm serving a client in the conveyancing department, and they tell me they have this issue, and then I'm like, hold on, let me call Mombua. She will be more best placed to advise you. It's as much as I can generally advise you as a lawyer, but I want you to have this experience, this specialized experience from someone who is very good in this area. So that's how we could be having a meeting here in the boardroom with one client, and I tell Sylvia, I think there's an employment issue. Come in and just address. So the client is able to
get like the best
from someone who's really.
And there is thanks for saying that. It's very important for us to highlight that, because some of the issues we get, and maybe because this knowledge is not freely available, each advocate has a strength.
Yes.
Advocates who are expert at everything are very few and rare, right? So sometimes when you get a contract and you're like, okay, I'm going to court, but who drafted this? And you say I had a lawyer. It's because some lawyers sometimes are not sincere enough to say, this is beyond my pay grade, it's not my strength. You understand? They feel like somebody will say, you are not competent, right?
Oh, yes.
And so because of that, people appear with contracts, and you are like, okay, if this had been drafted a little more sensibly, we wouldn't be where we are.
Yes.
So the beauty of having a large team with expertise in different fields then makes sure that the client is getting the best of what they can get. It's not somebody... you're not coming purely and then you're kubambanya, somebody just touching and leaving. And then also too, we are normally at MNO, we are happy to consult with other advocates. And even bring on board as consultants. If it's a specialist. Yes. new areas of practice, specialized area of practice that we might not have as deeper understanding. We are also able to confidently tell client, we'll bring in somebody to support us, or even if we are the lead, we then can hire somebody to for the purpose of that transaction.
That would happen very well with like a cross-border transaction.
Yes.
Because now with cross-border, we are speaking about an entirely different jurisdiction.
Yes.
We need to understand how things operate in that jurisdiction. What are the expectations in that jurisdiction? Because at times that differs. So
it's very different.
we won't lie to you. Be like, we shall be with you, but we'll have someone from...
We're bringing someone on board who is best placed to advise.
But I think also just to add on what Makanda has said in terms of the knowledge, I feel like also working together as departments, it equips every advocate with the basic knowledge of how every department functions. In the terms that out there, when a client comes to you with an issue, you're not completely out of place. You just know, I understand this is a commercial dispute in this area. You give the client enough confidence to understand that you are aware or capable of handling the dispute, but then you lead them to the expert in that particular field. So I think that also grows our knowledge as advocates within the firm.
In your department, what do you think, in your respective departments, what do you think is sometimes misunderstood about what you do? And what do you want those other departments to understand about which area do you feel like you are a bit misunderstood? Like these people don't understand what I do.
I think I'll start with what people just describe me with, that I fight all the time.
It's not drama. It's not just drama.
That it's drama, that I'm fighting, that is Harvey Specter. No, it is not. I feel like what I would like other departments to appreciate is that there's a lot of calm also within the dispute resolution department when it comes to issue mediation, negotiations, and even in court, it's not every matter where you bring out your clause. Sometimes you just lay out the facts and they fight for you, lay out the law and it fights for you. It's not every case where you have to be aggressive, but we do fight, just not every day.
Every day.
And there's also a lot of advisory work.
There is a lot of advisory, and also the aspect that I talked about. People think we just go to court, but people don't understand in our department, we consume legal knowledge across the legal sector. So everything that comes to court, nobody will come and say, are you a commercial lawyer? I have a... No, they'll come. You go to court. You'll handle the commercial dispute. You go to court. I need a lawyer in an employment case. You go to court. There is this constitutional dispute. So I would like other departments to appreciate that in our department, we literally consume all knowledge. Makanda says we're not jack of all trades. We are jack of all trades.
You have to be.
We are jack of all trades. Only specializing in the art of litigation. I think that's how
including
I can put
criminal law.
Even criminal law. Everything. We're in court about everything.
What do you think is misunderstood about what you do?
I think maybe the fact that we are more on the proactive side of risk management. So sometimes there could be the misunderstanding of why isn't there a lot of action, like it would be in litigation where it's active crisis management. So it's just them having the appreciation that it's a bit different, but it's still part of one family, if I could say it. I think maybe the other thing also is that sometimes litigation's desk or conveyancing desk may look like it has so many volumes, a lot of files, and then you'll come to
there's no file. One file.
Commercial. There's only one file on the desk,
or a lot of laptop work.
Yes, a lot of laptop and desk work, and someone be thinking maybe, do you have any work this week? And the truth of the matter is,
the desk looking like this.
Yes. Commercial desks are normally very clean.
Yes.
You guys are doing good for the environment.
Yes. But also, even just apart from departments, and I say this because I used to be very actively in court. Sometimes even family members, when you tell your parents, I don't go to court, you can tell their face drops. They're like, I paid these fees for you not to go to court. And they don't. It's almost like they block everything you say after that.
Practice,
If you say you don't go to court, then you explain whatever you do. Then next time they're like, oh, I did call you, I didn't find you. Why are you in court? You're like, I don't go to court. Then they get upset. Then they ask you
exactly
the same.
what do you do?
Yeah.
Yes, like which part of law?
Yes.
I think it's even something that one of our former employees started a joke to. It's like, people think the real lawyers are litigators. The rest of us, we just support, but
Yes.
but that's
not true.
Yeah.
The reality is, I think probably people will now be able to understand the different areas.
But also
Yes.
people I think will need to know, especially as the country becomes a lot more regulated and a lot more business oriented, that dispute resolution accounts for about 10-15% of what a business will go through, right?
Yes.
But because most businesses invest in the dispute resolution, they think that's the heartbeat of what they should be doing.
Oh, yes.
And so the dispute resolution becomes 100% if you don't invest in the 85% before the dispute. So we are in an ecosystem where people know lawyer is close. So if you don't show close, they're like, So and that's not what saying. Yes. And Barbara, what do you?
Well, for me, I feel like what people misunderstand the most about my department is they think it's the same purchase, it's the same transfer all the time, it's the same charge. So people tend to think you're doing the same work, but turns out every transaction is different.
Yes.
For one transaction, you could be focusing on the background checks, the due diligence. That's what is really pushing that transaction. Another transaction, it's the completion. Things are not going well on that side. Another transaction, it's the other party is not assisting you. So every sale, in as much as it's a sale, is a different sale. Different people, different challenges, and an entirely different set of understanding. Yes.
Maybe I could also say, perhaps to give it a different angle, from a client-facing perspective, I feel like sometimes there's usually also a bit of challenge when it comes to them, because a client will come to you with a very brilliant idea, and they're telling you, I need this contract by end of day. But the one area that they're not able to articulate is how to properly structure a transaction for it to be sustainable. And then number two, in terms of the long-term value that that document is able to give. So it's just sometimes them feeling like we are trying to slow them down in achieving and closing this deal quickly. So most of the time, a client is thinking that I've come to you as a commercial lawyer because I'm looking to close a deal quickly.
It's almost like they want you to say, sign up.
Rubber stamp that this thing can proceed.
They're uncomfortable enough not to take the plunge themselves, but they want to tell themselves that
There's a lawyer.
Sign.
Confirm
up,
terms
yes.
anywhere.
That is an issue that even Mambo and I have actually experienced in this past week, where a client came very clear about what they wanted, gave us a contract review. And then now after the meeting, they are waiting for the feedback. And the client is saying, I'm very happy I've onboarded lawyers from the beginning, but I'm also feeling these lawyers are delaying me starting my business. Because the email came back with, this is not, have you looked at this? Have you checked this area of regulation? Have you incorporated your company like this? And the client felt, I just needed you to tell me, sign the contract. You are telling me how
Just
my whole business model is not workable in the beginning. And I think that is something that maybe clients need to understand about how your department operates.
That when they come to us with the idea, it's for us to help them package it in such a way that this thing can outlive itself. We are not just creating structures that last for a year or two, but systems that can work, documents that are foolproof.
And I mean, listen, that also applies even across all the departments.
Yes.
Even for a law firm, it's very difficult for lawyers, good lawyers, to just look at your issue. You come and say, this is the agreement, or even a dispute resolution. I have a children matter. I just want him to pay school fees. Then you ask, okay, do you normally grant access? No. That man and his many girlfriends, he cannot have access to my children. So you as a lawyer, you are saying, no, if I go to court,
They are not exclusive.
what's going to come out is the court, you won't be able to tell the
denied
court.
access.
They'll be given access. The other person will be given access. So yes, you can talk about your money, that you want maintenance, but the access they'll also get. And then they're like, no. I just want you to go to court and get money. The things of access, it will not happen over my dead body. You understand?
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're telling clients sometimes, because we are not able, we are able, but it's not good legal practice to, like, say, this is the problem you have, and we'll focus on it. And then when you're blindsided, you'll be like, okay, but you told us to just focus on this. No. So sometimes clients do get upset when you look at their transaction end to end. I'm buying land. I'm buying land for farming. And you tell them, okay, you're a foreigner. You can't own agricultural land.
Yeah.
Now they get upset.
I came to you because I want to buy
But find a way for me to have that freehold title.
Yes. So then you're telling them, now I can help you start structuring this. They're like, no, I think you guys just want to make this complicated. We actually have been told in conveyancing, remember? You are making it.
You're complicating
the transaction is straightforward.
Yes.
Yeah.
But because the reason people take lawyers, they forget, is apart from enabling a transaction, is risk mitigation.
Yes.
end to end.
So risk mitigation means when a transaction comes to me, the first question you ask yourself is, what could go wrong?
Yes.
What the client has picked is unlikely to go wrong. So, because if they could pick what could go wrong, you don't need a lawyer.
Yes. Think about it. Even as you're speaking, I've just thought about succession.
Yes.
The people that come to us and they're buying property that is owned by a deceased person.
Yes.
So someone is ready to pay that money instantly. They're telling you the family is going to sell that property to another person.
It's a very good deal.
Like, look, succession hasn't begun.
Yes.
If you did anything or made any payment, it will be intermeddling.
Yes.
Which then will move to
Court.
a litigation case. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the other issues that I think is misunderstood about the conveyancing department. Okay, we call it, like Barbara said, it is conveyancing,
Real estate,
and banking.
Yeah.
So the conveyancing is really about the land, and there's the real estate whereby it's the
Projects.
sale and purchase of these multiple dwelling houses or projects. Then there's the banking section where it's about borrowing. And sometimes it's not land. Sometimes we're dealing with a company that is borrowing and it's borrowing against its assets. So now we go to, it's like we've shifted to the commercial bit and we are doing a fixed and floating debenture or even a specific debenture on a motor vehicle. So that's something else I also thought is a bit misunderstood about what we do.
Mashamba too.
Mashamba too. Yes. And
Yeah, like when I meet some of my clients and then they're just like, bado una deal na mashamba.
Exactly. But even for the mashamba, people will only think, I should really concern myself if the land is developed.
Yes.
If it's not developed, we can sign just a deal somewhere, and then it was just a plot.
And many people have come to us like that, or they've already done something and they're telling you, hii shamba ni baba wangu alinitafutia, so there couldn't be anything going wrong with this.
If my dad told me to buy it, it's the one who sourced it, it is legit. There's no issue with it. So even we're trying to explain to them that we need to do due diligence. Apana. It's my dad, and you know him, he lives in Shags. He knows everybody there. So
and also
he knows that family and their history.
And also by the one that pains me a lot more is where you do due diligence and you don't get paid because you are the one who told the person the transaction has an issue. So you saved the money and then they're like, but I haven't bought.
I lost the transaction.
No, I haven't bought it. I haven't bought. So you tell the client, let's do the DD, right? Up to this point, we've done the DD and then you're telling the client, please stay from this transaction. And tell the client now, you need to pay me these fees for what I've done. They're like, no, but wait until I get another property too.
And then to buy.
And in essence, you've saved somebody a lot of money.
Money and time.
What do you think is which other department, whose work do you quietly admire? And what have you learned from watching them?
Okay.
Well. quietly admire. You know, now it's all of us here. So if I quietly admire someone, it could be. But if I mention to you the kind of work they do, you'll be able to tell. So the person I quietly admire runs clients' meetings to a very, like a point of perfection you can't even see. They have a story for almost every client. Like every client meeting for them is usually such a success. The clients are living happy, and you see there is a relationship that has been built. So what I'm admiring in that person, and it's something that I hope to eventually have, is how they're building relationships with clients. Because truthfully speaking, our work revolves around the relationship with a client. It's not just a transaction. It's never about just the legal transaction. There's a partnership that we are seeking for beyond. So the person whose work I admire is doing that very, very well. And
Who's the person you admire, Barbara?
well,
Which department?
Just say their names.
yeah, but yes, that's a person whose work I admire. And I think it's an admirable trait, right? Yeah.
Barbara, utaki kusema names.
Ni nyinyi. Ni nyinyi watu.
Yeah, for me, I would say, this is also based on how we have worked with them across departments. I would say I admire commercial department in terms of Momboa specifically, because I've noticed matters that come from commercial department to litigation that she has referred. She's very meticulous with the trail. The same thing Barbara mentioned, the trail. Like when she's referring a matter to litigation, I'm not asking, so where did this dispute start? She will come to you with a full record. So this was the first email, then this is where we reached, then this is the transaction. The interpretation of this transaction is that this and this happened. So by the time she's done with you, you're literally just drafting her email into a pleading. You see, so I feel like Mubwa, you're very meticulous in terms of record keeping of the transactions that you do, which by the time they come to litigation, they make my work extremely easy. So I think that is something that stands out for you in the department.
Sasa mtu unafaa come back aje after that.
You say I want to thank me
For believing in me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Candidly speaking, I really admire Chitechi and her ability to manage crisis. I think she's one of those people who a client will call and tell her, my property is about to be auctioned. Please help me. We need to file that application. Or she has various matters in court, her being able to manage and head the department, oversee what is happening in the branch in Kakamega, and just to keep that team vibrant, active, moving. And I've not seen any one point where she's not been able to take the fall. When things go wrong, she'll still come and say, okay, yes, this has gone wrong, but this is how we're going to fix it. So I like that there's that stability in knowing that if a matter is in her hands, she'll confidently be able to see it to the end. And I also like that she's able to win cases. Yes.
Lock it. Thank you, Sarah, for that.
Yeah. Barbara is known, whenever you hand over a client, we told Barbara responds to emails. You know the conveyancing department and banking and real estate is when you tell them if you write to them, a client writes a good night, they write back good night too. When they say, okay, now finally good night, then they say, okay, finally good night too. So that department and Barbara meticulous in email response and feedback. And feedback. It's feedback. The feedback there is meticulous. Meticulous. I think because we deal na mashamba za watu.
Na transactions on in bio.
Feedback. Yes. So you every time you hear, Barbara, my emails, she responds on time. Immediately. Yes. So
That's actually very true, Barbara. I think also transactions we've handled, there's a way she handles very fast conveyancing, and then maybe it's the same matter that is in litigation, and you're giving a court update, and then they probably, I don't know, convincing you people give updates every 2 days. And then you give a court update last week, they're like, why are we not hearing from you? You know, Barbara is always saying
because maybe the client has a transaction in conveyancing, and then litigation, maybe another one.
Yes.
So Barbara's updates are on point.
Exactly.
And the problem is sometimes what does is it makes clients a bit unhappy because you see the court process is
long,
grindingly slow.
Yes.
So you were in court in March, you updated. I have no update.
There's no
before
updates.
July.
When the matter comes up in July. And that July, I will tell you, the court was not sitting. It was sitting August
Is that
or October.
that time Barbara has sold 17
Meanwhile,
apartments? So
Meanwhile, Barbara has given maybe like 6 emails.
6
Yes,
emails.
to
Yes.
that particular
The same
client.
client.
dear.
It's the kind of thinking. How comes this is moving and this is not moving?
And maybe that's also a misunderstanding
yes.
that clients have about
Different departments.
different departments,
Yes,
yes?
yes.
Because they expect to mend a court by next month. We are done with this. It's never the
So
case.
sometimes clients come and ask. That day we had a meeting. Clients is saying, so in 4 months I'll be done. You're like, as lawyers we are saying give or take. Give or take might mean 2 years.
Convincing days, 90 days is a
90
lot
days,
of
yes,
time.
yes.
It's a lot of time.
So as when you say give or take in litigation, clients are looking at you and it's like, what do you mean 4 months? Is it you mean 6? Like
Possibly.
But in
That would be
reality,
a good outcome.
but in reality, you know it's 18 months.
Yes.
Because you see,
Yes.
the idea just the court not sitting itself. Because I mean, listen, magistrates, and we're not saying that it's mischief. They are human beings, so people can fall sick.
They can be
Emergencies.
judiciary.
No, their parents like us. So the children have an issue in school. So sometimes clients will think, but why isn't he working? And you're like, okay. Even the process of transferring to a new judge to handle that matter, it will make your matter last a lot longer.
Or
So-
sometimes,
or sometimes,
they're
yes.
handling like a duty station. So
Yes.
they're probably court is on recess. One magistrate is handling like 4 different courts, and some matters may not be prioritized over others.
Yes,
So-
yeah.
The one thing I have to say I admire about Barbara is her docket is very time bound. Very strict SLAs, with many corporates at the turnaround time. And her ability to push the team for that ship to move is something that, is quite admirable because, the banks are expecting you to deliver on time.
And the sometimes the loan, the typical one, goods are stuck at the port. So somebody wants that $1 million shillings to clear their goods. So if you don't register security within 7 days, start hearing words like demarrage, what blah blah.
The other day, someone was telling me they want to plant. Planting season in Aisha.
Oh, really?
Because
farming.
farmers, when they are being financed, so they can be able to
And
plant.
rain is
It's time-based, very strict timelines.
I think if there's a department that is very keen on the term phrase TOT, I remember when they started seeing that thing, I used to be like, what are you guys talking about?
Turnaround time.
So the turnaround time is very fast for you guys, and I think it's something you've perfected
And you
in
know that
area.
turnaround time is also in the SLAs we sign. So it's very, very crucial. So guys, what do you think is a skill or even a perspective that you've gained just by interacting with these other departments?
I think we can just start with the areas we've just mentioned now. I think for me, with Barbara, especially clients we've served together, because now the clients put you on the spot. Now I've started. I think you learn also to give updates sometimes, even when they're just asking progress. You tell them the file status is still the same. Remember the date is this. So there's that feedback to the client. I think is something I've learned. Commercial also as well. The same thing I've talked about. You guys are very meticulous and client interaction. So for me, I feel like those 2 things stand out in a way that are applicable within the litigation department as well.
I'm thinking about flexibility because truthfully, every department runs differently. For us, it's about time. For litigation, it's about ensuring that somebody's interest is protected in court. In commercial, they're trying to ensure that someone's interest is protected and you're trying to mitigate risk.
Outside the court.
Yeah, outside the court now, yeah. So each time I'm working with other departments, it's about to learn how. Now, be flexible for you to see. For commercial, it's like this. The other day I was telling the commercial team to give us a fee estimate for a client, and I said end of day it was at 4, and we go home at 4:30. And I could tell for them, they're like, 4:30, we go home. And for us in conveyancing, because we're used to time and whatnot, quick things, 30 minutes is a lot of time. So it's, at some point I just had to, you sit down, relax.
Yeah.
It's in the commercial department, they've got this. So just be flexible, work with that, yes, yeah.
Good. Part of that is what we were just mentioning, the fact that we need to make additional follow-ups with the client to know what extent of the scope, do you want us to be able to handle? Yes.
So commercial work is clients will come and tell you, I want to buy a company, right? What they're thinking about is share transfer.
Yeah.
But buy a company means totally different thing to me. So if he comes and says, I want to buy a company, I need to be sure, do you just want me to handle the share transfer or you want me to do the transaction?
Including starting from due diligence.
Due diligence, yes.
Yes.
And 95% of the clients run away when you tell them what needs
When they hear that
What
complex,
needs to be done?
because due diligence in itself is massive.
Yes. And then you could do the due diligence and then tell them, I'm sorry, I don't think we should
company is
proceed
not
with this
viable.
transaction. And the guy is telling you, no, this transaction is already importing things, blah, 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 blah. And then you are like, okay. Yeah.
And that's when they disclose, in fact, I've already paid the deposit.
Like, what?
Yeah.
You didn't say
Or
so.
they have received a deposit.
That's your deposit, yes, yeah.
But I think also something that I learn is also how to manage clients in general. Because you see also learning, like your timelines, our timelines, and maybe we are serving the same client within different departments.
Yeah.
Understanding how your department operates makes it very easy for me to clarify to the client, especially if I was the source of the client. Maybe it was a litigation matter or a commercial matter. So it's easier to manage client relationships without a client feeling they're getting a disservice from one department and another simply because they don't understand the system of every department.
Crisis management, particularly in this season where we've seen some of our clients who now it's almost shifting from transactional legal advice to crisis, depending on the sectors that they're serving in. Yes, so that has been something I've had to pick up quickly.
I think also something else that I've learned over time is in the conveyancing department, if invoices and quickly they are settled. So I had to learn that when it comes to litigation, it's a whole different story. How the invoice is structured, how it is going to be paid, how it's going to be spread out is very different from what we do on our end. So that's why in a law firm, these departments are interdependent. Because one time there is a machine running, another one is slow, another one is picking up, like that. So they're interdependent on one another.
I think on that function of how invoices are settled, we can just give an example of there's a transaction of a client that I first handled among the first matters in 2019. That client has finished paying this week. And the same client, the same work, interdepartmental work, the work, because it was succession, the work has now moved to transmission to conveyancing. I don't know if they will keep up with the speed of
Exactly.
Because
now
on ours, it took 7 years to clear an invoice. On yours, you'll require 2 weeks. And I don't know if the client will keep up.
Pray for that client. They will have to.
And the
have to
dynamics
meet.
now, explaining how things operate.
So maybe very quickly, ladies in your departments, maybe you can give an example, just a brief example of maybe we can pick a single transaction. Just briefly, you can explain. I've heard you touch on it here and there that required collaboration, maybe across the 3 departments.
I think a good example is what Barbara mentioned. Yeah, the transaction that started from litigation in terms of a succession matter, transitioned to conveyancing for transfer, and then now commercial, now for incorporation. Now for incorporation and then now
First,
transfer.
then
Yes,
transfer.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
That is one of the areas. But then I also feel like department specificity aside, I think there are matters that we all work together regardless of the department.
Oh, yes.
You can find instances, maybe even for us, it's a litigation matter. You're going to the Court of Appeal, there are timelines, the documents are bulky. I have seen members of other departments step in to ensure that flows when you're applying for tenders out there. You don't care it's which department is going to, even if it's a tender for a specific department.
Yes.
All of us are coming in. So I think there is good cohesion within the departments if I'm in my own.
I think even just for, aside from just the legal work, even just in terms of maybe CSR activities that we do as a firm to impact community, we've equally just seen different departments coming together, each arm taking up a certain area and being able to deliver on it. So yes, I feel like it's a holistic kind of approach in terms of the collaboration. Yeah.
So we are celebrating 10 years. So in the next 10 years, what area of law or maybe a specific client need, either within your department or in another department, do you hope that the firm will develop or strengthen?
I think maybe a proud moment for me before we even go to the next 10 years. I can say MNO at 10, litigation, we have traversed all courts. Okay, of course, Rangojia kwenda Supreme Court election. Yeah, but I feel like the diversity, also growth of the firm, is that we started, I kind of joked in our previous, we started maybe with like a few family matters.
Yes.
But then across the years, we've gone to a place where we are serving different courts. We are in different courts across the country, different briefs. Interesting. You learn on the job also as they come. So for me, what I do hope in the next 10 years now to come is that diversification to the point where we can even have subgroups within the department where we are specializing in different areas based on different expertise within the department. If we could just have constitutional lawyers within the department, that way
it would be.
we can confidently say no one is a jack of all trades. That is
Until
maybe
then.
an area of growth that I hope we have
Yeah.
subdivisions within the department.
Or maybe an employment lawyer.
Yes, yes.
All right.
I'm thinking really big. I'm thinking big. I mean, we cannot turn 20 without having offices in like 4 African countries. I'm thinking really bold. Like I'm thinking about cross-border transactions. That's what I'm thinking about, honestly. I hope when we turn 20, we shall be all over. All over. I honestly hope, and it's something I'm really, really hoping for us to achieve, that just cross-border. MNO Kenya is running, MNO Uganda is running, MNO South Africa, and I mean, later on, because it's no longer about the big countries. Things are moving down to Africa now, So yes.
Very true. Mambo?
I think what I'd say is a lot is happening across the African continent right now. And like what Barbara is saying, what I'd envision for MNO maybe for the next 10 years is a one-stop shop really for commercial transactions across Africa, where when anybody thinks of a practice or where they need to go and refer to for their legal needs, they're thinking MNO. With that being said, I'd love to see, because most of the clients we serve now are actively applying technology in the spaces that they're operating in. So I'd love for us to equally keep evolving in the next 10 years as our clients evolve and as technology evolves. in such a way that we are no longer saying that as Africa we need to keep playing catch up but we are also now at the front line of making sure that there's innovative ways of delivering legal services. Yeah.
Yeah, like speaking of data protection, AI, those are things that are going to cut across the whole continent.
And e-commerce, the fact that it's a space that keeps, evolving. Last year there was something else. Next year there's probably going to be another new technology that will have come up.
I think for me, apart from the classic growth around technology, I still feel like we don't do a lot of value addition. So, law encompasses all sectors. So I feel like we're not very deep in terms of extractive industries. I see the future being, are we legal practice going to be stronger in things like value addition, like even just products that we produce. You have like gold. You get gold in Kenya, but do we have any legal practice in the gem sector? We have all the travel rights and all that, right? Do we? I feel like the creative industry is still quite underrepresented legally.
Yes.
I feel like the sports sector, people are getting raw deals because of contracting, and then I feel like things like fashion. So apart from technology, which is an enabler, but also a moving industry, I still feel like there are a lot of classic industries that we are not participating in as big. I have seen now, and as we have taken a lot of interest in energy, we are looking at nuclear energy. I think we'll be maybe the second or third country after South Africa and Egypt. And I understand Kenya now and Ghana. So a lot of the lawyers, if they are telling you they're doing nuclear energy, they're not experts.
Yes.
So I think it's a sector that it will be explore, and I feel like when the plant is operating in 2037 or 2030 something, when they say or something like that, 8 years from now, that we will be leading that pack in terms of nuclear energy. And that nobody comes and tells you that I have experience in structured nuclear energy transactions, because you don't.
Yes.
Considering that the last one was built in 1985 in South Africa, the last plant. So yes, I feel like the traditional industries are still going to produce a lot of legal work, even as the more evolving ones like tech and telecoms grow. They grow very fast. But the traditional industries will still have a lot of work to do in the next 10 years or so.
Even environmental law with the carbon credits. That's another area also.
Yes, actually.
Where we need to build capacity.
And climate, actually.
But
there's an area we're talking about also about climate litigation.
Climate litigation.
Even property real estate. People are going to move a lot closer to fractional ownership. I've seen a lot of college accommodation coming in. Right now, it's being done a lot more owned by companies, but I feel like those companies are going to start having REITs. They're going to put up...
Some have REITs already.
Yes, and then I feel like it's headed towards fractional ownership. So if two of us can invest in that unit for whatever it is, for our own children, or it's to rent out. So because the land in especially big cities is limited. So the ownership for spaces is going to be more shared and seasonal. So a lot of fractional. And so even now as we do sectional titles, I feel like we are headed towards a lot more fractional, especially for that sort of college accommodation, transitory accommodation around hospitals. If somebody builds around Kenya KNH, somebody builds a halfway house for people who are sick but don't need to be admitted, that kind of ownership, for it to be more liquid and more valuable because of the cost of land, it will mean that investors will have to own that in a fractional model. Rather than even joint and all that. And that means I don't need to know who is my co-owner of that fraction. Because joint means we know each other. Fractional means I just own 30% of the year of that unit. And so for 30% from January to July or June, March, I'm the one making the money. Yeah, and so I have no interest in knowing who is my co-fraction owner. Yes, and that fraction can be, when it becomes a lot more valuable, it can even be 10 fractions of one unit.
Yeah.
And then now becomes a more long-term investment, because college cities and medical cities, that's real estate. I feel like it's going to go that side, because the land is limited.
It's very limited.
Yeah, so once you build every land, the idea of owning, even you owning that sectional title, I feel like individuals are going to start splitting their sectional titles into fractions and put it up on the market, because a bit about sectional titles, it creates your own ownership. So I can convert it into fractions and then create people, my friends can come and buy into that fraction and make money. So college accommodation, hospital accommodation, sports accommodation, institutions are going to do a lot of fraction. And I feel like that could be the future of legal practice around land.
Real estate.
I agree. I think I'd also maybe add on mentorship. I feel like so far, as a firm, we've done a very good job in terms of building capabilities across the different teams. So maybe just to continue creating and reproducing quality lawyers. I have to say there are not very many excellent commercial lawyers in the market. So if we're able to mentor and produce, and also just to encourage any young person who is watching, who is asking themselves, how do I enter into this space, into this legal space and thrive? I mean, look at us. Barbara from a different jurisdiction in Uganda, successful in Kenya. Chitechi from a village in Kakamega. Mumias. Oh, sorry, a kingdom. Yes. Kingdom. Wanga Kingdom. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And myself, from a small town in Kilifi. Back then it was a small town, now it's a county head. But I mean, when you think about it, in the 90s, what was Kilifi? Who would have thought anything good maybe would probably come out of there? But so it's possible, it's doable. And it's just a matter of trusting the process.
And by the way, just to what you're saying is important. More and more as the economy is growing, we are starting, because commercial legal practice used to be elite. We're starting to get transactions from businesses in Western. Yes, we have very good two good clients. The energy transaction you're talking about, there's one in microfinance. And they're also starting to see the need for proper structures. So this resource is going to be necessary across the country. And I feel like as the economy grows and become more populations, there are businesses that would, and this has happened already, like maybe the US, a proper business which only serves Nyeri. But it still needs the structures.
Yes.
You understand? So, and the business will be saying, I have no business being in Nairobi. I want to operate from Garissa, but I want proper structures. And that happens with population growth, because once a city has 5 million people, let's say Nyeri, 3 million people, 5 million people, you can effectively run 10 coffee shops in Nyeri and not have anything to do with a branch in Murang'a or Nairobi. But you still need the same type of legal service. And I feel like in the next 15, 20 years, that's where the country is going. Now you go to rural towns and find coffee shops and all that. And I think maybe the legal practice will need to catch up. I feel like, especially outside Nairobi, it's not catching up
as fast.
Yes. You feel like businesses are ahead of. So people are telling you, are you from Nairobi? Yes, I'll give you work. You understand? Yes.
There's that need where clients are specifically looking for legal expertise from Nairobi, not trusting the legal capacity that is there. So I think,
and part of what we'll do as a firm is build those mentorship opportunities, and encourage people that it's possible to have a proper practice that has nothing to do with Nairobi, and just doesn't focus on the 2-3 sectors that were there in 1972.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the educational sector right now is, when it comes to commercial needs,
Yes.
There's a real need.
Yeah.
A real need.
Yeah. And now we have like clients in Eldoret in the education sector, and running proper institutions, and a health sector. People who want that kind of thing. And so yes, and so regional legal services are going to be more critical. Small boutique firms that can give proper advice to those businesses, because unfortunately or fortunately, the regulatory framework doesn't care where you operate from. So KRA, Communication Authority, CBK doesn't care whether your business is only focused in Migori.
No.
The regulatory environment in Nairobi and Migori is the same. So there are no waivers. So it means that when lawyers are giving that kind of advice, they need to be able to give as good advice as any other corporate will get.
Oh, yes. So, guys, what any message, or is there any message that you have for a prospective client who is in need of your services? We can start with Mbwa.
Yes, what I can say is that legal services or access to legal services does not have to be as expensive as we make it to sound. That it is possible for us to be able to structure products or services that are in line with your current business needs or even individual needs. And so feel free, reach out. Don't wait until everything has gone left, and that's when you're in crisis and wondering, where do I start, what do I do? Access is there. Just say, reach out to us anytime. We are available. You don't need to walk that journey alone. And we've worked with many successful startups and entities who we are very proud to see them grow and stabilize. So we are here.
I feel like a message I would have for our clients is that the reason why we are celebrating MNO at 10 and not one department at 10 is because we have a diverse team of very qualified advocates across all departments. And our clients should be comfortable to work with any advocate, depending which department. It doesn't matter which department they are placed in. So if a client is transition, because our clients, most of them, we retain them. They will come with one problem, they end up in another transaction, we defer them to other departments. I think ours would be to encourage our clients, whichever department handles your matter, you're in safe hands. They don't need to narrow down to the particular advocate they started with, because at the end of the day, the firm operates on one ecosystem, and their matters will be taken with the same seriousness, whichever department they land in, just to assure them there's quality control of our work.
Well, my message to our clients would be that with MNO, it's a great relationship. With MNO, you're thinking it's a partnership beyond just this transaction. So wherever we start the journey from, we'll continue with you. It won't be just a short-term contract review and we are through. We are thinking about partnership beyond this transaction. And it's interesting. Some of our clients have turned into friends. The other day, a client was giving me access to a doctor. Can you imagine? I mean, and then a therapist that reach out to this specific doctor. And I'm like, to imagine that that's a client tells you we have built a relationship. And that's MNO for you. We are building long-term relationships with our clients. Yes.
I think for me, as clients to understand that our work is risk mitigation. And risk mitigation means that when we look at your matter, we're not looking at very unipolar. We look at the entire risk profile. It doesn't mean that we are frustrating you. It just means that it's not possible for the issue you've come with to exist in isolation. So when you come, please allow us to, when you go to a doctor and you have malaria and the doctor tells you, yes, you have malaria, but you also have typhoid. You can't say, no. Just focus on malaria. It's what has brought me. So risk mitigation, good risk mitigation means that you need to look at the client's issue in totality. and give advice. So clients will need to accommodate us, even when it sounds like for them, most of them say, we've cast the net out too wide. Yes. Instead of going with a hook, we've come with a net. I feel like we are more of a net and less of a hook. And clients will need to understand that it's for their own good. What we can agree on is a payment plan. Yes, but isolating a single problem and running away with is letting you down.
It is letting you down. Yes. And you'll always come back and wonder if something happens.
Yes.
And we didn't tell you.
Yes.
Wonder, but I gave this contract to so and so to look at.
Yes.
Why didn't they mention that this was also an issue?
Yeah.
As much as maybe you don't want to hear it at that particular time, but it may come back in a way. And it is only fair on our end that we let you know, we educate you, even if that's your decision. But at least we let you know, and allowed you to make a decision from an informed point of view. Yes.
But also, a quick one, which I've noticed. Please, AI is good for clients, but it's not. It is made by human beings. So I feel like the human beings have better brains than it. So for clients, I think they need to be very, very careful.
That's crucial.
In prescribing, because you don't know the problem. So AI is giving you the answer to the problem that's limited to what you know. I feel like it should be an enabler. It shouldn't replace. Because otherwise we will start asking AI for medicine. Right?
To prescribe medicine.
Yes. I know people are excited about it, but I will really, really, really advise you that talk to a lawyer to advise you. You can generate a document, but AI cannot structure a transaction. So you'll need proper advisory work. So don't get carried away by AI, because I know what's been happening. Like in war now, they are using AI to identify who are the bad people. But what is happening is that when that bad people walks into a building where there are children, the drones come and kill everyone in the house, because AI has been told that person, when they get into this space, trigger. But you end up killing 10 other people that were not bad. And so those are the challenges of this blind acceptance of replacing intelligence with artificial intelligence. It should be helpful, but I feel you need to talk to a lawyer to help you structure some of the solutions that you're looking for. Can you imagine if you put if the judges used AI to generate? We've seen it created acts of parliament that don't exist.
They don't exist. But at the same time, also, a judge has just in the past month thrown out an application simply because it was purely generated by AI. There was the judge could not even condone to listen to the facts of the application because it was AI generated. So you may be confident that you can now draft a court document through AI, but there are obvious mistakes that even judges are picking up throughout your case. Without being consideration.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for that information. I know most of our clients have learned, and not just our clients, even our colleagues, especially the younger ones, the ones we intend to mentor and continue mentoring. So, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and share this episode. And again, we continue to celebrate turning 10 years.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.